In this section of the workshop, we will be covering how to use adjustment layers to make refined adjustments to your image. However, before we get to those edits, there is one small edit I'd like to make first. If you look down here at the bottom left of the image, you can see this bit of purple color distortion. This is an artifact of the light hitting the lens in a certain way, and it's something we want to get rid of here before we go on. I usually like to do edits like this after I've done luminosity masking, but before I do color adjustments and the like. Now, in some cases, you can just use the spot healing brush to fix these kinds of problems, or maybe just clone stamp these color distortions out of the image. But this is far too large to do that, so I'm going to show you a really simple trick to fix this here in Photoshop. Essentially, we will be painting on a new layer using the surrounding colors and then blending those layers together so it looks natural. Now first we need to create a new layer. So we'll go to the layer menu, choose new layer, and we'll call this color distortion. Okay, so now we have this color distortion layer that we can work on. Now before we go further, we need to set this layer's blending mode to color. This will allow us to paint on top of the bottom layer without impacting the luminosity values of the layer below. In other words, while it will change the color, we'll still be able to see the details in our main image. So now we need to paint onto this layer using the colors that best match the area. So let's go ahead and zoom in here. Scroll down. Okay, you can see this area pretty well here, right? So with the brush tool selected, so we have the brush selected here, now we need to hold down Alt or Option on a Mac, and this will allow us to pick a color from the surrounding area. So in this case, I'm going to start over here. Okay, now you can see that in the color area here, we have a brown color. And now with that color selected, we can start painting onto this area here. Okay, so let's start painting here. And now you can see that that's starting to change the color of that area. Now it doesn't look natural right now. We'll work on that just a little bit here, but let me show you really quickly what would happen if we changed the blending mode to normal. You'll see now it's just a big brown splotch, and that doesn't look good at all. But by choosing the color blending mode, this has allowed us to see all the details and just change the color. So in order to make this look a little bit more natural, we're just going to keep selecting different values and painting those in here, okay? So holding down Alt, or again Option on a Mac, we'll just select different colors. Let's go over here this time. Okay, we'll just paint in some of that over that, and then let's make this brush a little bit smaller here. You can see it's gone over this big bamboo here in the middle, so I'm going to choose this color down here, and we'll just paint over that there. And let's choose this color again. We'll just keep painting over until things look and feel pretty natural. And one thing we can do here is if we need to change the opacity of the brush, we can do that so it doesn't maybe impact it quite as strongly as it is at 100%. Okay, let's choose another color here. Lower that opacity some more of the brush here. And just keep doing this until it just feels where you want it to, okay? It may take some time to get things exactly where you want them. Okay, let's go over here again. Kind of fix that some. A little bit too far there. Okay, now if we zoom out here, see that looks a little bit better. Now one good thing about doing this is that if we need to, we can just lower the opacity of this entire layer. And if I lower that down a little bit, you can see it makes it look just a little bit more natural and not quite so forced. Let's zoom in again and just make sure that looks good. Zoomed in. And I think that looks pretty good overall there. So if I turn this layer off, you can see what it looked like before, and there's the after, okay? So you can be more specific with that if you want to, take as much time as you need to fix it, but basically you can see how you can correct that kind of color distortion, and I think that looks pretty good here. So with that corrected, now we will merge these two layers. Hold down Control or Command on a Mac and click on both of those layers. Right click, choose Merge Layers. And so now we're ready to start adding adjustment layers to our image.